All right, hello to the YouTube people watching. How is it going? Hey, SSR, good to see you. I think I've seen you in a second. I think I see you. It's Izzy. Yeah, how's it going? Good morning. Bella, good to see you as well. Almost coughed right into the mic. That would have been mighty loud. All right, how is everything, people? Hey, Black. I don't know what to call you. I don't even know if I could say that word on live. I don't think it matters, but Tab Scorpio, Softnique. Ooh, I'm doing well. I'm feeling tired. My battery, not my battery, but my phone battery is low, so I don't know how long this will go. I mean, it'll go like at least an hour or two, but morning, Minnie. BDM, good morning. Good to see you. Marie, I'll just call you Marie. How's it going? Have I talked to you before? I had a couple people named Marie I talked to recently in a personal reading. Brosson 12. Yeah, happy Sunday. How's it going? I would skip on the tattoo, Ingrid Goosen. I think there's one that would suit you better, that you'd be happier with long term. Good morning, Christy Sai. How are you doing? Feeling black and white? Hey, how's it going? Hi, Ingrid Goosen. Good morning, Miss Red. How are you doing? Miss Betty, good morning. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Yeah, it's like it was a Kali themed shirt, which I don't know. I've been working with her a bit, so I just figured it was suiting. Good to see you on here, though. Julia, good morning. How's it going? Lori, good morning. Bella, good to see ya. Ooh, hello. Dana. All right. Barb, I do get no on will he stop seeing other women, unfortunately. Sorry to say. Brosson 12, any guidance? What I'm hearing is Go the Distance, and they're playing that Mulan song. If you've seen Mulan, like the cartoon from like the 90s from Disney. It's like let's get down to business to defeat the Huns or something. But something Go the Distance is like the word that comes through. So like any projects you have, anything you're sticking to, I would go with it. I feel like it's personal, like perhaps in your personal life, but Go the Distance is what I'm getting for you, Brosson. I don't know if that makes sense to you and for anything in particular, but they want to let you know you are, I don't think you realize you're a bright shining light, but you are, and people don't tell you that. Also, definitely stand in your power. I do hear Archangel Michael as well is kind of guiding you right now. And there's a sword on the card, and like what they're saying is wield the sword of truth. So the more you can get to the bottom of things, even like your own like personal belief systems and like what's true for you, the better right now and over the year to come. Because I think like there's going to be things under a microscope for you, like especially spiritually. Like, okay, is that true, or is that just something someone said? That's what I'm getting for you, Brusson. I hope that helps. And there is more. So what they wanted to add on to Go the Distance is Go the Distance means don't let anyone keep you from doing what you want to do. I think that's with your life. And you also hold the key to become successful. There's this key with the fire around it, which I do feel like that symbolizes like a burning passion as well. And like I'm seeing this like little smoky mist down here. They're saying like wield your magic. I do feel like that's manifesting, and I feel like that's verified because I'm pointing my eye to the spiral on the tarot, which I always associate with spiral of creation. So I would wield your power of manifestation and go with what you want. All that to say that. So hope you're doing well, Broston 12. Christy Sai, what I hear for Dave today, has he moved on? I get no, or will he come back? I don't feel like what I'm getting now today is I don't feel like he'll come back unless you reach out. I don't know what the situation is. My guys are kind of giving me the careful, so they're saying I wish I knew a bit more about the situation to like dig into it a bit deeper. Well, let me see if they give me anything. I just keep hearing like he's an okay guy, but he's not ready for anything. I feel like that came through last week as well, but I wouldn't push him. I don't think he likes pushing. I would honestly, like right now what I'm getting, I'd let go for now. I'd see what else turns up. I do feel like he's going to be back around, but it's going to be a second, and I feel like you're going to have to prompt it. That's kind of what I get at this time. So I hope that makes sense, Christy say, as far as this point in time with everything. Like, he'll be back around, just not yet. Cup of tea, thanks for the rose. How are you doing? Mini VDM 73. Oh, he got all the roses. 14. Good number. Good number. 14 is interesting, like 14 days, because I've just put my, Love and Light, thanks for the roses. I just put my 2 weeks in at work, so it's like 14 days, because I'm doing readings, and it's just got so booked enough that I can't do both anymore. So, heck yeah, so 14, it's funny you sent 14 roses, there's like 14 days in the 2 weeks. I just thought that was funny. Mini VDM 73, will my young son be all right with school? Yeah, mostly, like, I get like there's a few traps to watch out for. I would make sure the teachers are kind and not snooty. I don't know why that's coming to me about them. It's like they're okay, and I think that other kids will be all right for the most part, minus a couple. I feel like he'll be okay. I feel like he's actually tough, even though he's like a baby. I think he'll kick some butt. I think you have less to worry about than you think, but keep an eye on him. Just watch his emotional state when he returns, watch his emotional state after school. I don't know if he's back into in-person school yet. I don't think it's totally offline yet, but I think he'll be fine for the most part. And as he gets older, it'll be a non-issue, is what I'm hearing. So hope that helps. Julia 0107, good morning. Good morning. Lori, good to see you, Lori. How are you doing? Bella, morning. Good. Okay, I think I said morning to you. Okay, I got backwards on chat somehow, so sorry guys. Hey Ruda, how are you doing? McNugget the Mini, I love that username. Good morning. Julia 0107, hi, is B going to reach out to reconcile? Thanks. No, not for a while. If he does, maybe in like a year or 3. That's a very broad spectrum. Most likely not is what I get, Julia. I apologize. I feel like that's kind of a lost cause, unfortunately. I feel like B realizes what they did. I don't know if it's a he or her. Usually they tell me, but I try to like not assume pronouns even with channeled guidance. Long story, but the messages are still accurate either way, but not likely, unfortunately, Julia, is what I get. It's Sizzy. Anything your guides want to need you to know? I hear healing hearts. I almost feel like you're healed is the message, or like mostly healed, or like getting there and very close, or like just inching closer to it, but you're really on the cusp of like getting there if you're not there. Because I have this, I'm kind of playing with cards today. Blue Dragons from the Pleiades prepares you to accept source healing, accept a heart activation, give and receive heart healing. I just feel like you're there, and I would not give up in yourself. I feel like you're about to blossom, because I just flipped this card open and they pointed my eyes to the butterfly and they said about to blossom, you're about to blossom. So, and if things seem rough, they won't be forever. And sometimes those circumstances are like where you build the eagle's nest, that hatches the new you. And it's, they're kind of playing off words there, because it's like, I think I said rocky, and then like rocky terrain, and then like if you think like eagles build their nests up in the mountains, or at least I'm thinking of like Nacho Libre, the movie, where like they get the eagle eggs from the nests. I love that movie. Fun fact about me, but long story, not that long, but don't worry, I don't think your egg will be eaten by Nacho. I think you will be a brave little bird and be flying freer than you ever have been in the nearish future, like next year, I want to say, soon, soonish. Soonish is usually like a few months out to like a year-ish, like less than a year, I want to say, when they say soonish. So I hope that makes sense. It's Susie. but you're on the right track. I would shine bright is also another thing they're saying. I flipped to this card with like the shiny fire here, and they were like shine bright. So like get out there, shine, don't worry, and you're golden. You're golden. I hope that helps. Thanks, Cup of Tea. Appreciate the additional roses. In Cup of Tea, I would recommend you be creative. Sorry, that's. I feel like you have a lot of creative energy, and the more you express it, the more it's like there. So that's just a quick message for you. SSR, is there anything for me today? Let us check. I still have some problems at work, and I'm really exhausted. Yeah, I hear ya. I think that whole issue is transmuting. We got this card again, but this time they're saying the whole issue is transmuting. Tiredness won't last. I feel like that's been very collective for the past year, but especially recent people, it's just like caught up to people. I've known like everyone I've talked to, it doesn't matter like what their job is or like what their thing is. They're like, dude, I'm tired. I'm like, I hear you. I wish I could say I felt differently, but and I've had some good days too, but the collective is coming out of that, especially like summertime. I want to say, well, it is June. I heard June to August. And then fall, it'll just be like less haggard. Problems at work. I feel like they will resolve, like keep at it is what I'm hearing. What else? I do feel like that's transmuting rapidly. You might not see it right away on the surface, but like energetically, like that issue, I feel like it's stubborn. I would sage yourself every day after work, by the way, just so you're not like carrying that around with you, if that makes sense. I actually feel like you do hold the keys to resolve that issue, but what are the keys to resolve that issue? Let me make sure I'm getting this message right. I feel like the more you do inner healing, the more it starts to resolve around you too, but you're already in the thick of that, and you're just like trying to find your way out of the cocoon. It's like the butterfly trying to like bust its way out of the cocoon to like be reborn into the butterfly, but that's not quite it. I feel like you're not meant to be stuck there, and you do need to move on at some point, just not right away, I think. And yeah, we have the leap of faith kind of card. Rainbow brings a leap of joy that opens new doors. And so I'd say that's some verification. Be on the lookout for other opportunities. I think things will resolve naturally there, but I don't think you'll want to stay afterwards. SSR, I think that was for you, so thank you. Hey guys, so just so you know, Q&A. Oh, thanks for the finger heart there. Seriously, Shannon, I appreciate you. Ruth and Powell. Empath here in May 1st felt a huge COVID-19 wake on anyone else. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely lifting. And like June or this month, I felt a massive, it just doesn't even feel the same. And I think the lunar eclipse has a lot to do with that, and the solar eclipse wrapping that up. And then Mercury in retrograde ending, end of this month is going to shift things even more and really lock in new directions for certain individuals who heeded more of a soul calling with the lunar eclipse is what I'm hearing, which is most everyone potentially here, even if it's internal. Just wanted to talk about that. So just so you know, guys, chat is very like resetty spaghetti. And what do I mean by that? It's like if once we get a lot of people in here and chat starts zooming, it kind of just like stops keeping track of the chat, and I can't go back and check old answers. So be sure you're putting questions in the Q&A, and I'll start looking in the Q&A for older questions and trying to do that. Wow, I have not seen any mod. Oh, Texas Jess, hey, how are you doing? Oh, thanks for jumping in, Texas Jess. I don't know where anyone else is. I think they're like, I'm done. But I think everything's shifting, and it's Mercury in retrograde, so maybe they'll be back later on. Good to see you though, Texas Jess. Yeah, I'm going to start checking the Q&A for questions, guys. Oh, by the way, any moderators that are tuned in, I think we're going to try, oh, Deja's here too. Hey, try to hold off on silencing people, or muting people, just because it turns out when you mute people, even if they come to a live later on, they still can't comment, even if they learn their lesson, unfortunately. And so it's hard to find those people and unmute them. So I'd just hold off a little bit. I'm going to try something new and see what happens. Just try to gently remind people. And if it's spam, like I've got nothing against, Jesus, but if it's like Jesus loves you like 27 times, yeah, you can mute that guy, but or a woman, or non-gender binary individual. And nothing against Jesus or Christians. Just it's just not conducive to what we're doing here. My guys are like, careful. So let me explain. It's not about Jesus. It's about the intent behind spamming "I love Jesus" over and over again in the chat. It doesn't really come from a place of love and a dialogue and understanding. It comes from like an agenda standpoint, typically. So I just wanted to talk about that real quickly. Anyways, okay, I'm going to answer these two questions because they're interesting, and then I'll get to the Q&A. Amari, I feel like you'll get a similar job, but potentially not that one, is what I'm getting. I would definitely keep interviewing. And if you do get it perfect, I'd take it, but I think it's going to be something else. And it is Mercury in retrograde, so pay attention to, like, it might be a little bit different than you thought as you get into it. It'll be okay, though, if you get it. Just, I'd look for a couple weeks out to get a job, but keep searching. Sorry. Elibilla, Elibilla, sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. How did you discover this channeling? So I've had it my whole life. It's just like the way it presents itself now took a bit of honing in, and they want me to be careful about how they want me to say it accurately. So it's pretty much something I've always had. I just didn't know I was doing it. Because every time I talk to someone about it now, they're like, yeah, how long have you been channeling? And then my guides will be like, your whole life, like to me, and I'll be like, all right, well, I guess it was my whole life, but but as far as like 2017 is really when it like kicked off more consciously, where it was like I was at a boot camp of sorts, and one of the people presiding over it was like, it was a metaphysical Christian boot camp. That's not where I lean anymore. The universe kind of scooted me into my own understandings pretty quickly. But I think this was just like a way to get me into the channeling mode and to show me, okay, this isn't really your jam. Let's get you into this mode and then scoop you over here, and then we're going to experience a bunch of stuff. The dude presenting over this camp was like, by the way, talking to God's not just for people in the Old Testament, it's also for us now. And I was like, what? And I'd kind of seen it in action before anyways with people in that vein. And I'd had some energy work sessions from people completely unrelated to metaphysical Christianity. And so I was familiar-ish with some of the things, and I'd had enough of the primers to be ready to hear about this. And so when I went and asked God a question, I got an answer, and it wasn't my thoughts, and it wasn't my own like inner dialogue. And I was like, but it was an accurate answer. It made sense. It wasn't like crazy or anything. So I'm like, oh my God, you can't put that one back in the bag. You can't put that cat back in the bag. So, pretty naturally, like, there's a lot of things I started to question about that understanding of the universe. I feel rightfully so. And along came a woman with her book into where I worked at the time, and it was like Waking Indigo. And it spoke to all these different points that I had questions, especially about that metaphysical Christian standpoint, and it really like answered a lot of them and resolved a lot of them. And a lot of what she talked about was channeling in that book. And as my path continued, it just so happened that that's something that came very naturally to me, where I started to have channeled experiences. And then the universe kind of gradually brought me to the people, to the places, to the events, to the experiences, either like breadcrumbing or just synchronicities, and like where I started getting messages from my guides, and like, yeah, you can still talk to God, but the understanding of God source is a bit different as you like have your own conversations constantly with them, if that makes sense, than if like someone's telling you about them. So pretty much, it really kept going from there, where I actually met other channelers or had channeling sessions with others who channeled similarly to how I do in like my TikToks, where I'm my more full channel mode. And one of the things that came through is like, yeah, you're like pre-wired for that. I'm like, oh, okay. But it's still like after like a year or two, then it started to kick in more, and a year after that, it was like constant, and I could kind of do it more at will or as necessary. And then it's now we're kind of here, and you see the TikToks and a lot of what I do here, where they feed me a lot of information while I'm going about this. So that's the long but also short story version of it, and it's skirting around a lot of things, but that's the short version. Hope that makes sense. Sky Kabaj. I don't think I'm saying that right. Skylar, is Austin my soulmate? Will he propose? So what I get is like he's one of many, because my understanding, I want to tell you that, is we all have many soulmates that we've reincarnated with over previous lifetimes. So you're gonna have more than one soulmate. I feel like, do you mean more of like a romantic, the soulmate, the one kind of? I feel like you're on the edge in like similar vein to my understanding, but I think you did mean more like romantically, like are they the one? I feel like he's a good one, but not the only one. There's other options you can go with that would be okay too. Will he propose? I think in a while, but not right now. There's high potential for it, but I would stay the course and let that play out naturally. I feel like he's into you. He's just still working things out. But one of many soulmates, and a good option for you, I think. Just make sure he's as good in here as he is now, is what I'd say. I don't know how long you guys have been together, but hope you're well. Sarah Lulu, hi. Dun, dun, dun. Thanks, Texas Jess, for telling people things and being moderator. Ooh, Best of Beth, how are you doing? Okay, back to the Q&A, because I know people are asking questions, and it's filling up quickly. Tia 1207, good to see ya. I recognize that name. The message to start is like, Texas Jess, I'm great at telling people things. It's a skill. Some people aren't, but I appreciate it. I would stay the course on both of those, Tia, love and friendship. I feel like you have more friends coming. I think that's like August, maybe July, but like late summer, early fall. I think you have new people coming on board in your life. I think that you've been hoping for and potentially even longing for. And if you've been lonely, I don't feel like you will be so lonely, because they're more your speed and less dragging. I don't know if that's a word. I just see like dragging. But as far as love, I just hear keep going, like stay the course. Like if you don't have the love you want, it's coming, and I hear this year. I hear fall is a very promising season for you, like end of fall, winter, more specifically. I don't know if a Brad rings a bell. Assuming you're into guys, but if you're into guys, pay attention to someone named Brad for some reason. I don't know. That's what I don't always get specific names, but oh my gosh, the visual take this with a grain of salt, but the visual I get is like Brad, and it's like a blonde goatee and like blonde hair, blue eyes kind of dude. But don't worry about it too much. Go with who you want to go with. That's just, I don't know. I don't always get specific stuff, but I'm just going to try. I do get specific stuff, and sometimes I'm just going to try saying it, see what happens when I get those things. Hope that helps you, Tia. But you're great. I wouldn't hold out for people who don't like text you back too much. It's not worth it. That's what I'm hearing too. Feeling black and white. Are there any messages for me? Yes. I would give yourself a break, actually, and I would also give yourself a pat on the back and a round of applause. I feel like you have been doing hard work, even if it's inner healing. That counts. I think the universe is proud of you. Is what's coming through for like some of the past deeds you've done, some of the things you've been through and like trucked through and been a trooper about. I don't feel like you complain a lot, and you could correct me if I'm wrong. But sorry, there's like an oh my Marissa flash by, and like okay, you're not her, but you looked really similar to a girl named Marissa that I know. I was like, what? Sorry, distracted. Feeling black and white. I would keep doing the work, keep digging in, keep healing. I think And what I'm hearing is you're ahead of the game, and that's like many aspects of life, or like all aspects, many aspects of life, like spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Like I would stay the course, because like I feel like you're doing great things. I don't know what you've been up to, but that's what I'm hearing. Definitely don't give up on yourself, and don't underestimate the impact you have, like on others, on your family, on friends. Even if it's just recommending a book or like a warm hug, like those things change lives subtly in ways that you just can't always have acknowledged. Excuse me, by others. And you being here is a gift, is what I'm hearing. So keep doing what you do. I think people notice you, and some people look up to you, at least sometimes, and I feel like you're doing such good things. That's what I'm hearing. So keep that up. But anything else that you need to hear? I hear something like, don't let love get in the way of what you're here to do. Love is okay. I would have love. I recommend it for many, many people. But that's just a side message, if that makes any sense or resonates with your situation. I hope that makes sense, feeling black or white. There's one more. I'm going to pull a dragon card. Ooh. Feel free to write about your experiences too. Whenever I pull this card and I see that golden quill, I feel like, and they said write about your experiences. Because there's this like black hole thing. They're like, there's a black hole of wealth to draw upon, but what they actually meant was like there's an infinite amount of wealth to draw upon. Because you're thinking like black holes are like singularity divided by zero. I don't think that's literally accurate when I tune in intuitionally, but scientifically they're like black holes are like dividing by zero. And is that actually true? Kind of, sort of, but that's not how the universe works, is what I get. But it's an interesting topic we can delve into another time, because I get very interesting things on like science or psychological facts or theories that some of them are pretty close, others are like way off. And so it's always interesting, because my intuition has been something I've learned to trust very avidly, especially for myself and what I'm getting. So when there's like a psychological fact that's not quite right, or someone says this part of the brain does this, and I get no, I listen to myself over the theories, because there's a lot of science people are still figuring out, and there's a lot of like belief systems and potentially that people are still like letting go of, and like, okay, instead of being like, okay, what's actually there, they're like, no, we believe this and we won't accept anything else. And there's nothing wrong with science. I'm not trying to poo-poo science. I think it's great. I think it's helping a lot of people, and I think it should continue. I just think when people think science has all the answers, when it's a lot of theories and they don't have all the answers, that's when I get a little bit like, that doesn't quite line up with what I'm getting. And what I'm getting has been very accurate for me, so I'm going to trust what I'm getting over a theory. But, and sometimes I get as close, sometimes not. But that's what I get. And that is not to, any science nerds. I'm not trying to upset you. I understand this is a tender topic for a lot of people. So I just wanted to talk about that for some reason. Sorry, feeling black and white. I went on a science tangent. I love that I love Nacho Libre, and I always love the quote, like, oh man, because there's Steven, and he's like, I don't believe in God, I believe in science, which is totally not my jam, but it's just a hilarious quote. And then I think my favorite quote that whole movie is like, when Steven steals the chips for the first time, and Nacho tells like the friar or whoever, and he's like, did you tell him they were the Lord's chips? That is my favorite line in that movie. The last time I watched it, I'll say it because it's fun. And I'm telling a brief story, and I'll get right back to Q&A, guys. But last time I watched it, I was at a friend's apartment. This was like last year, and it's near Chicago, so it wasn't maybe the greatest area. And so like right before that line, I was really looking forward to it, and there's a gunshot like right outside her apartment. So I'm like, ah. And then like, and my guys were like, yeah, you guys will be okay, just lay low. I'm like, okay. So I just kind of like sunk down on the floor, and then she did too. And then that line happened. I'm like, it's a lot funnier when there aren't gunshots outside. She was like, it was fun. Okay, anyways, and no one died that I know of. Did anyone die? I think it was just a straight gunshot based on what I got, so that's good. Anyways, sorry, Nacho Libre story time. I need to get back to like why I'm doing this live. Ooh, and Brabs. Sorry, I clicked my guide said I clicked the wrong one, but I clicked this one, so I'm answering it. I don't think your dad is dead. Hannah Huppel? I don't know. Could be wrong. Any general feelings on moving to NYC or LA? The second one, would be better for you and like whatever you're trying to do for your career is what I get. I think it'll be more fun for you too. And guys are easier to get there if you're into guys, if you're single. That's what I get. So I hope that answers that, perhaps. Okay, curious. Okay, enough with the Nacho Libre speech. That's not why we're here, is it? We're here for readings. We're here for channeling. Sam, I am 0601. Is Brian my twin flame? I get no. It's like a similar energy. It's just not quite that. It's like, I feel like there is some soul connection, so that might be why there's some confusion, or why other readers might have said something different, but I do get no. And there's better for you on the way if that crumbles. Like, he's okay. I don't think he's a bad dude. I don't get he's a bad dude. It's just, he has some things to work through, like some inner healing, some processes, and he's actually good with that. Some guys like dwell on it, but he's working through it. I would be there for him as you feel called, but don't get too wrapped up if you're really gunning for a twin flame connection. But he's okay. He's good. You might want to pass though. Sorry. I promise I'm not just here shooting down everyone's relationships. It's not. I just say what I get, what they tell me to say. For the highest good. Yvette Jaslyn, is Nick the right person for you? For now. I do feel like he's a good long-term choice. If that's something that's already happening, I'd stick with it. See, I told you, I don't shoot down every relationship. But I would hang in there with that one, Yvette Jaslyn. I feel like he's a tough cookie. That's what I heard. Tough nut to crack. Tough exterior. Hard to get to the soft, gooey innards of love and compassion sometimes. I don't know. That's what I get. Something like that. Don't take that 100% literally. And he's kind, but he's tough. Does that make sense? Okay, sorry. Gonna go. Well, hey everybody. I am grateful you're hanging out here. I'm glad to see ya. It's always cool seeing you guys. Just a reminder, if I don't get your question, there are a ton. I do personal readings, and they're available in the link in my bio. So that's availability if you're like really jonesing for a personal reading, and if you're really don't get your question answered and you really want it answered, that's a good way to ensure the questions get answered. Let's see. Okay, who's next? Joan D. Bello. Hello, Joan P. Is my mother with me? I get yes, and I do hear always. I'm guessing this is a passed on loved one. She's with you in spirit. She loves you. She's wishing the best for you. I feel like she helps you tackle obstacles if this is a passed on loved one situation, but I do feel like she's subtle about it though. Like, she's always around, but she's subtle about it. Like, some people will just like drop stuff in the middle of the night, and I always, when I do a passed on loved one kind of reading or that comes up, I see them like knock something over off a shelf. I'm like, okay. Or they're helping with specific chores, and you're like, yeah, that's what she or he used to do. They'll be like, he'd always do this, or she'd always do that. Hope that makes sense. That's what I'm getting though. Okay, so Q&A, by the way, does not go in order. I'm going to try and get to the older questions when I can. I'm going to ask the moderators to be lenient on people who are reposting questions, just because Q&A does not keep up with 204 people very well, but I do my best. Amada Roberts. Does he like me, or am I just another hookup? You're not just another hookup, but he doesn't know what he wants. I feel like he likes you sort of, but he doesn't even know what he likes. I don't know if that helps at all. By the way, you're lucky. And you have a much better person on the way if it's not this person. I would ditch this person if he starts to play games, honestly. I don't feel like he's really juvenile. He doesn't really know what he's after, and he's kind of just like pleasing the boys, like, what are the boys doing? Oh, hooking up, cool. I hook up. Guess what, guys? I hooked. But you're not just another hookup. There's feelings there. He's just not going to admit it right away. It's okay to move along, but do what you feel called to do. I think there's promise there. He just he has to grow up a little bit. I feel. Hope that helps. And you're on the right track with him, whatever track that's been. That's what I hear. San Bernard, is Wellington my soulmate? I get no. I actually feel like there's a bit of a deeper connection there, but I also wouldn't get too caught up in it because there's always multiple options for you in love. If like the one twin flame doesn't work out or this one soulmate kind of passes you by, it's like Spirit has a lot of options and a lot of ways to work magic and get you with either the right person or it's like the runner-up option that's actually better. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what I'm hearing for you. So I wouldn't worry too much. It's gonna work out. Who's next? Seriously, Shannon, how do my guys communicate with me best? Baba Barbie, will we reconcile? Baba Barbie, you asked, will we reconcile? I get not right away, is what I get. So seriously, Shannon asks, how do my guides communicate with me best? I get signs and synchronicities for now. You can get direct messages and will as you open up more, as you kind of go that route, as you feel called. It's not right away. I think that's more in the future, and you already do. Like if you have a conversation where you feel like it came through you more than from you, or like that wasn't in my memory banks, what I just said, that came together very wisely. Not that you aren't wise in your own rights. That could be your guides or the angels, you know, all of the true highest life for the highest good working through you, or God speaking through you, of course. He works through everybody because he is everything, and the universe is everything, so the universe works through everyone. Long story short, but let's see. Signs and synchronicities for now, but I would pay attention to thoughts and like voices that don't feel or sound like your own. Typically, that's usually your guides, and that's not a disorder, by the way. You're fine. You're not crazy. That'll ramp up if you want it to, but I think it's like when you're ready for that journey and when it calls to you. And there's other ways for you to get messages, whether that's a pendulum or a body pendulum or tarot cards and your intuition and what you're feeling energetically, because you're an empath. So there's ways around it if you don't feel like you're getting messages, is what I'm getting. But I feel like you will, honestly, as you feel called to it, which that might be years before you're like, yeah, I want to do this, like full time or something. But it can be sooner. It's just like, what are you called to right now and what's right for you? Okay. Neptune Sun. Well, I meet someone romantically soon. I actually get yes, but I also get like a proceed with caution. Is that for me? Is that for the person? Yeah. Proceed with caution for a bit. I think you're gonna have to slog through people for a bit, unfortunately, because there's like you'll get matches like on if you're on like dating profiles. You'll meet someone, but it's like it's not quite right. I would trust your gut instinct because I think you're gonna have to go through a few people before you find the one, but that's okay because that gives you a chance to be like, is this right for me? What do I like about this? What can I add to my boundaries list of what I don't want? And that's a red flag for me or a caution flag for me going forward. And it's a way to get to know you better too. So all is not lost if like the first person who comes around and romances you and wines and dines you isn't like the one, you know, dropped out of outer space like Thor in the Marvel movies, and just asks you out on some crazy Thor's hammer date. I don't know. What does Thor do on dates? I don't know. Sorry, I'm going off the wall. Not really. Not off the wall. I'm having fun with it. But that's kind of what I was seeing. You'll get with a good guy, though. Whoever, I don't remember your username, but whoever I just answered a question for. I hear Ganesha, the Empress 444. Oh, thanks for the rose. Thanks for the rose there. Is that Pound Starling, LB Starling? Thank you. The Empress 444, are there any deities trying to communicate? I get yes, Ganesha's the first one. I feel like these four come through a lot, and so I want to like delve a little bit deeper in the list. But I'm hearing like Ganesha, Kali. They're saying something about Yemaya as well. I would look into Greek god and goddesses also. I think Apollo is Greek, right? Or is that Roman? Can I remember my pantheons? I think there's a lot, because I think there's no like one way for you. I think like any pantheon, any like god, any goddess you feel called to is the right one. But they're going to show up as you need them. So even if you get like a gods and goddesses oracle card deck, or like a goddess oracle card deck, that would be great, because then you can kind of get to know each one a little bit. I would pay attention to Egypt, Pantheon, Greek, and Greece. I think those are the main two right now, honestly. So like Anubis really stands out. But gosh, they're just like going through the list. I don't want to like say every single name, because it's like it's too much. But go whatever way you feel called, because there's no wrong route for you. But I would start with Egypt and Greece. Like Anubis, Zeus, and then they're bringing in like Thor and like Kuan Yin, and oh my gosh. So I'm just gonna like not list off all the gods and goddesses ever for you, and hopefully that gets you on the right path there. Okay, let's see. Bella, generally reading, please. Okay, Q&A showed some other questions, so I'm going to answer some other ones. And I'm just going to trust the Q&A brings me the right questions at the right time. Who said something about my shirt? Carly Kinch 5, love your shirt. Just wanted to tell you it looks very cool. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I wore it specifically for this live, because I was, I just put my 2 weeks in at work to do readings more full time. But I wore this shirt because I wore it to work one time, and this lady was like, "Oh, you should wear that on a stage." And like my mind immediately jumped to like TikTok and doing the lives and like being, it's not like a stage, but it's kind of on stage. So I'm like, I think that's what I got this shirt for. So I would stay away from shrooms for a second, Matsutake 22, just for a bit. Just until you know you're ready, because that's a bit of a trip. I've never done shrooms, actually. That's just what I'm hearing. So I know it's a shock that the spiritual dude in the mandala shirt doesn't do drugs. I know, but it's true. Bella asked, oh, thanks for the rose, Holly Southern. General reading for Bella. I feel like you're on the right track. They're pointing me to this fire on the dragon card meaning booklet, which I don't usually look at when I'm reading cards anyways, unless it's for me. And I'm like, what does this mean? Because like when I read for, I get the messages for myself too. But when I read for you guys, especially live, like the messages just come when I look at the cards, so I don't look at the booklet. Long story, short. I'm dragging this out more than I need to. But they pointed my eyes to the fire on this booklet here and said, you've got the fire. So I would really just harness your inner passions and like drive forward in life, because I think you have a lot of creative passion ready to burst, and it's just like, whatever project you want to do, I would do it. And especially like Mercury in retrograde, like wrap up a project if you have an old one laying around or anything. I'm hearing something like scholarly. They're showing this like dragon, like whether it's writing or anything else. Because I know you're intuitive. I think you're an intuitive writer, whether it's poetry or like a poetry slam or whatever you do. You're intuitive with what you create. And I think you're realizing it already, if you haven't fully realized it yet. And here we have another card with fire. And I know it's dragons. And you know what? That exact card on the cover just popped out right behind that one. So I think that's just confirmation of the fire thing. I would pay attention to like fire signs around you, and stuff like that. But I really feel like it's about burning passion. And shining bright in your chosen calling is what I hear. So I would step out into the limelight and shine as you feel called. And oh my gosh, this card is about creativity as well. So that's what I'm getting with the cards. Anything else? I just feel like don't give up. Just don't give up. I mean, whatever you're working through, like I feel like you're on the cusp of something new. Just like, I don't know if that's a new relationship. It's like a new era, actually, I feel like. So head down, charge forward like a football player. Because you'll break it through, the defenseman. If I'm going to use a football analogy that they're giving me. Keep going. I hope that helps, Bella. It makes sense and resonates. Starting to enjoy my degree, so will I get through the 4 or 5 years of studying? Yeah, I think you'll keep going. If you so choose, I feel like you'll keep going. I think that's a good option, and I think you'll get a lot out of it. Just don't forget the rest of what you love to do in the meantime. That's what I hear. Because there's more to you than just that, is what I get. I hope that makes sense, Bella. Chuckles 700 asks, how am I doing? I'm doing pretty well. I'm feeling pretty good right now. How are you doing? Pretty decent. You're welcome, Bella. Hope that helped. Made sense. And you got the fire. I would keep going. Okay, so let's keep going. Lesson Beth asks, should I stay at my job or look for something new? Should stay. I would stay for a second, honestly. Yeah, thanks, Deja. There are definitely hundreds of people sending questions, and you're a fire sign too. That's funny. That makes sense. Bella just said she's a fire sign after all that fire came through in the cards. Well, Danny, my friend, you don't even know me. You haven't talked to me. You haven't heard my story, and you haven't experienced what I've experienced. So that's a really interesting point of view. You have that point of view. I'm really curious what makes you think that. Oh, I lost him. I was going to block him. Oh well. Busta Beth asked, should I stay at my job or look for no? I would stay at least till Mercury in retrograde ends. I would stay until the end of the year if you can. I feel like you're going to need it, is what I get. So I hope that helps, Busta Beth. I would stay the course for a bit. Okay, who's next? XX Res. Guidance, please. Yeah. So the first thing I heard, because I saw the sparkles and the emoji, is I heard you're a star and shine bright. And the second I pulled this card, my eyes were drawn to these stars down here. And then there's Celeste, which is, celestial. These are Celeste sent the roses. Thanks for the roses, by the way. Shine bright is the message, because I know it shine your inner beauty, because there's so much beauty within you, is what I hear. It's like it is like a rose in blossom. I would definitely transmute the old, or look at any inner healing work that needs to be done. We have the transmutation card here. Let's see. So you are transmuting, is what I'm getting. The more you sit down and just kind of even if you're in a huff and you just kind of sit there, even if you're doing, oh, thanks for the heart, the hand hearts, appreciate that. Sorry, I'm getting lost. What was I even saying? Yeah, even if you're just sitting there and taking time to just be, you are kind of transmuting the old, and that's a kind of a natural process. I actually feel like if you're not with someone, you do have love on the horizon. Or if you are with someone, the love is going to increase, because this card popped out, and that comes out as a very love on the way kind of. It's let's see, Rose Pink Dragon prepares your heart to connect with the higher facets of the cosmic heart. Open your heart to warm-hearted love and diamond light. Connect with the love of the universe. Yeah, usually that's about romance, and that's what I get. And talking about that rose and letting the inner rose bloom as well. That's what I see with that as well. And you're golden. I just pulled golden solar dragon, and they said you're golden. They just want to emphasize the beauty within you. If you don't realize that, and I'm not 100% sure what you look like outside, so you might be very beautiful outside as well. But this is the exact same card I pulled that said you're a shining star. Okay, so we're just re-emphasizing that. Anything else for you? I would go big. Any projects, anything you're trying to do or accomplish in life, I would set your sights high and aim for the moon, like Dogecoin, and because it's worth it. And I think you'll go further aiming your sights higher than if you stay low, if that makes sense, or try to hang back for others. There's a quote I want to say, and it's from, oh, thanks for the hand hearts, Lori. I appreciate that. There's a quote, I was going through like a course, Lee Harris is a channeler out there. I am guided to go through his work relatively frequently. Not all the time and not all of his work, but some of it. And one of the things he was talking about is like going big. Like sometimes when you try to go big or like try to do more in your life or have something or stretch kind of beyond what you've had before, and increase your abundance, like you'll have certain thoughts like, oh, but what will happen to this person? Or, oh, I don't want to make this person jealous. But it's like, in a sense, it's like when you do that, you're kind of letting them be in this arrested development state instead of when you shine and go big, you're really affording people the opportunity to see that they can too, and that if they're truly in their abundant resonance, as he was saying, like they won't mind if you go big like that, and they'll be happy for you. But if it bothers them, then that's them realizing there's something else or more for them too, and that's actually a gift for them. So if anyone needed to hear that beyond you, Emmy, I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you. Okay. So I hope that helps, Emmy. A bit more for you. I do, again with these roses on this card, but I feel like abundance is on the horizon. I think, I feel like if you're looking for love, you're going to get it, honestly. Any leaps of faith you need to take, I would do it based on that card. I hope that makes sense, Emmy. You're golden. I appreciate you reaching out. Stay bright. Okay, who's next? Katerina says, I hate my current job. Will I get a new one? Oh, thanks, Karen, for the roses there. I appreciate it. I hate my current job. Will I get the new job? The new job. You will get a new job, and I think that's soon. I think end of June, July is high potential. If you don't get the new job that you're talking about, but you will get a new job soon after, if not that one, is what I hear. And I'd pay attention to late June for sure. I hope that makes sense, Katerina. You will definitely get what you need. Baby Bubba Boo Boo. Will I ever have the partner I've been waiting for? You're very close to, if you're thinking of an ideal partner or like a lot of qualities you want, you'll have very close to it. If you have your sights set on a very specific person, right now, I don't feel you'll get with that person, but you'll get like close to what you want and close enough that you're happy enough that it like works out well for the both of you, is what I get, Baby Bubba Boo Boo, which I appreciate that username. Weird message. You have the key to unlocking any girl's hearts. I think you're smoother than you realize. So I would go get them. And pure. They're putting my eyes to the pure word. So you do have a pure soul. I would stand in your power when you're talking to women, by the way. That's a stand in your power card. I mean, among other things for me as I read it and as I'm guided to read it. I feel like you will definitely have women close to what you're looking for as you progress, is the words I'm getting, as you like date more. That's what I'm getting, but you'll find the right one. I think it'll be obvious. They won't jerk you around or anything. In the metaphorical sense, my friend. Phrasing, gotta watch the phrasing. Don't laugh at me. Just kidding. Shucks. Will my daughter be okay and keep progressing? There will be some bumps in the road, but yes, overall, I think she'll get where you're hoping she'll get with whatever you're referencing here. It just takes a second. I do have this healing card. So Blue Dragon from the Pleiades prepares you to accept source healing, where if there's any healing involved, the universe is helping her heal. And then Cocoon, I feel like Cocoon and healing can be very similar kind of messages, the way they're popping up together here. Like I feel like she's cocooned, she's growing, it's okay. Whatever she needs to go through, she'll go through. Any bumps in the road will be resolved eventually. It might not be smooth sailing, but I do feel like progression will keep occurring, at least for a while. Hope that helps. Guys, do your best to try to stick to the Q&A as well. It's much easier for me to get to. I do try to get to the old questions as they pop up. Q&A is a little bit non-committal on who and what it shows when it shows it, but I just trust it's going to show me the right questions at the right time. Mr. Red, am I gonna get my tax return soon? Not as soon as you'd hoped, unfortunately, because my body pendulum goes no. I feel like you'll get it when you need it, though. I'm sorry to hear that, but it's on the way. It's like, I don't think you'll be left hanging, but time frame. I do feel like it's actually mid-year. I don't, so I feel like that's sooner than later. But I would kind of forget about it till it shows up. I hope you're not banking on it right away, but it'll show up when you need it. Is what I get. Right when you least expect it. Right when life has your attention turned the other way. Here comes the IRS to give you money. I think I thought that would be funny coming out of my mouth, and I'm not even trying to be funny, but it came out of my mouth, and I'm realizing it probably wasn't that funny. Nope. Well, Aaron and I have kids. I get my body pendulum swinging to no. I get not likely. You might have to have a long conversation. You can swing that answer the other way. I wouldn't force him to, unless you guys want to have kids. But it's definitely not right away, if that's what you're hoping. I think it's going to be a second for everyone to get on the same page. You can always manifest it. I would ask the universe for kids. And stand your ground, too, if there's any arguments about it. That's what I'm getting. Hope that helps, Harley Griffin, too. Hope that resonates for your situation. I hope you are well. Oh, okay. We got that one from Schnooks. Akakami, is my Libra friend genuine? The one you're referring to is mostly genuine. There's some hiccups, and I do think they're working on it, but they're also learning to see themselves, like gaining self-awareness. Like, they're not there yet where they're like always authentic all the time, but they're working on it. And I guess like what I'm hearing is like they don't want to be the way that they are. They're just like not sure how to choose differently yet, but they're evolving out of it slowly. That's what I get. I hope that helps, Akakami. Hope you're well. That's probably AKA Kami instead of Akakami. Akakami. It sounds like something out of I don't know. I was gonna say like Wakanda from the Marvel movies. Fun fact: I grew up in a town. They don't want me to say it. My guys don't want me to say it, so I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. Shay time. Will Ty and I start dating? I get a yes. I feel like that's likely. You might have to lead Ty into it a little bit, but I feel like he's into you. He's playing the game, though. I think he's kind of smooth, too, but correct me if I'm wrong. But he likes you. Jennifer Stark, will my soulmate and I be pregnant soon? I get yes if you choose to. This is what I'm getting. If you're with your soulmate. I feel like you are. Well, thanks for the love, Lori. The love thing that popped up on my screen. Thank you. I like love. I think love is good for people and stuff. Understatement. Neptune Sound. I get yes. I feel like you're gonna have to dig into it before you realize what you want. I feel like you're gonna have to start on a path and change it. I was talking to a friend, and there's a couple. Okay, they're giving me the careful sign, so I want to talk about this the correct way, the highest and best way for you, and everyone listening. The short answer, and I'll get more into this, is go with what feels right to your heart. You can also ask the universe, like, hey, guide me to the right degree for me. I would go for it. Some people I don't recommend college. For you, yes, it's a good option with favorable circumstances forthcoming once you graduate and stuff. And I feel like you're good too, Neptune Sun. I would make sure it's something you resonate with, something that feels right to your heart. And they want to be careful explaining this, but I'll do it really quickly. I had a friend, and like there's a modality called access consciousness, and this is one of many ways to discern and use your intuition or your knowing. And it's like when you feel into different options energetically, and I do feel like you're empathic. You might be working on it and like realizing like how empathic you are, but when you're feeling different options energetically, you can kind of feel into the future, like, okay, what will there's a couple ways you can go about this. What will my life be like in 5 years if I choose this? Or how will I feel, like when you say, how will I feel if I choose this overall about the outcome, you get the energy when you ask that question about how it feels. And then you can ask, how will I feel if I do this instead? And you'll get the energy of that and how it feels. And so you can get you'll kind of get how you'll feel if you go that route before you go that route, and it can help you discern in a choice that you're making. But there's also an access consciousness. It's light versus heavy. Man, if you suspect you have lice, check for lice, I guess. But light versus heavy. So if you're discerning different paths, just kind of like sit with it and like, okay, does this feel light to me or heavy to me energetically? Like, does your body, do your energies feel lighter or heavier as you think about going down that option, or focus on going down that option? And it's about the energies of it. And if you feel lighter or just a greater sense of ease or peace, I would go that route. Sometimes these things can take a little practice before you're like feel honed in and comfortable with them. But I would take a leap towards the one you actually want. I think there's more abundant options than you realize. Don't just go with the one that your mom or parent or guardian is like, go this way for the money. Because the way money works is shifting, is what I'm hearing. And what do I mean by that? Like pay, what pays, who's paying is shifting rapidly on Earth, and like in like 20 years, nothing's quite going to be the same, is what I'm getting. So go with what you want to do, because that's going to go with your gut. That's going to lead you way better than like logical career options as the world is now, is what I'm getting. Hope that makes any sense. But it'll make sense for you what you choose, is what I'm getting. Dun, dun, dun. Getting tipsy nails asked, what are my gifts? What is my next step? Clairsentience, which is energy sensitivity. Claircognizance, which is knowing. Very intuitive. Clairvoyance. You do have all the clairs. I think everyone does, but it's like, what is your strong suits? And yes, there are gifts that are kind of outside of the realm of the framework of looking at the gifts in terms of clairs, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't limit yourself to just that. But felt senses and visuals are very strong for you, is what I'm getting. The next step for those, if you want to develop those, is definitely pull tarot cards more often if you don't already, and manifest your gifts looking, only for the highest good and honoring, and for the highest good in general. It's manifesting how you want your gifts to look like. And even if you're writing down or setting the intention, lighting a candle, however you manifest, like, I ask that my gifts expand in the highest and best ways. I ask that my gifts improve in the highest and best ways. That does like manifest it. So you can actually manifest your gifts being better. You just have to follow like the events and synchronicities and things that show up to like get you there. So it's like, maybe like you ask that, and then the next day your friends and you are hanging out over tea and you happen to have your tarot cards in a bag or something, and then and they're like, I've been really interested in tarot, and you're like, let's play with it, and then you just like try a reading, even if you're like new to it, and then all of a sudden like you kind of see something, you're like, hey, wait a second, and then and so that's kind of like it's like a start, and then you keep following those signs or synchronicities or those events, and the universe gets you there. Not to mention, I do feel like you can just directly manifest it. That's a whole other story. I don't feel like everyone's there where they can just like ask and it shifts and it's there, but it's possible. I don't want to limit anyone. I'm hearing something like stand your ground because you know what you are, is what I'm hearing too, which I don't know what that means, but hopefully that makes sense for you. Anything else for you next step? It's practice, honestly. It's like intention, prayers, like intention candles, um, practicing your gifts, whatever you feel like you have, whether that's like holding a crystal and just feeling the energies, building a crystal grid and seeing how when you put different crystals in different places, it feels different, pulling cards and seeing what you feel or see based on the card as a message. Just it takes some patience and practice, but that's what I'm getting for you. I hope that helps and makes sense. Sorry, I just got a Facebook message. It's totally Mercury in retrograde. I have not talked to that dude in years, and I just got a message from an old roommate slash I used to be in a band slash bandmate of mine. That's totally a Mercury in retrograde move. Old people moving out. Deja, good recommendation. Tarot cards do not need to be gifted. I recommend feeling called to certain decks you want to buy. Yes, you can manifest cards and they be gifted to you, and you're like, yes, but you can also buy cards you're guided or feel drawn to. That's perfectly acceptable. There's no right or wrong way there. It's like what works for you, and it is okay to buy your own decks. It really is. My guides will tell me to buy decks all the time from myself. I don't think I have ever been gifted a deck, if I'm being honest. Like, sure, they've like popped up out of random circumstances, like I'm at a metaphysical event and I'm like, where did this come from? And I just feel this joy or this certain energy about it. And like, okay, I have to get these because it's like those are my cards. But you'll know if it's for you because it'll feel right. Teal Robbins says, my friend that currently lives in California going to be my life partner. Thank you. I get no, unfortunately, Teal Robbins. So I apologize for the news you probably were not looking for. But I do guess that for you get you up for other options. Teacher, will my youngest son break from abusive girlfriend? Yes, not right away. He still has some lessons to learn there, but he's learning it's not okay for him and he deserves better. But slowly, it's still just dawning in his awareness that maybe it's not right. But I wouldn't force it because he's realizing it on his own, and he'll kind of dig in if you try to like force him any one way is what I get. So I hope that helps. Guys, do your best to try and put your questions in the Q&A. There's no guarantee I'll see it if you put it in chat. Q&A is very sporadic, so I know unfortunately it's very like sometimes it shows new questions, sometimes it shows old, sometimes it shows like 5, sometimes it shows like 200. So I just trust the right questions show up at the right time for the right people. And if I don't get to your question, I do offer personal readings as well through the link in my bio. I just put my 2 weeks in notice in my not 9 to 5, but my regular job because I just can't keep up with both. So that is available as an option for you guys if you feel called to it, and you can get your question answered. Healing with Angels 7. Oh, thanks for the rose, B. Willis. What signs do my guides give to me? Weirdly enough, I just saw B. Willis. I do see bees. I would say look out for bees or like wasps or like stinging creatures as a sign. I feel like that's a sign you're on the right path, weirdly enough. But like black and yellow, if you see those together in like a bee-like pattern, like that's also a sign. Or even just a letter B. Like there's a lot of different angles that can hit you. Thanks so much for the roses, teacher. I really appreciate that. There's a lot of different angles that can hit you with the same message. So pay attention to that. Anything else? Flowers are a big sign. I feel like that's for like almost everyone or a lot of people. Because that's been coming through for multiple people I've talked to. Not everyone, but a lot of people where it's like specific flowers meaning certain things. Like I feel like tulip for you for some reason. Tulip and daisies. I don't know if Penelope's a flower, right? I don't know. I heard that. Ghost flower too. Ghost flower as well. Anything else for healing with angels? Any spirit animals that are showing up to help you are going to show up around you through like signs and synchronicities. Like if you see a bear on the side of a truck, or if like a Bear City skit from SNL flashes up on your like YouTube or something, like it's bear spirit animal. Like if it's consistent, like you just see leopards everywhere, like that's just a spirit animal trying to just letting you know it's working with you for your highest good. And you can also just be like, all right, I see you, bear spirit animal, please help me in the highest and best ways for you to help me. And then for me, I feel the energy, I feel whatever shift needs to happen, I feel them with me for the highest good for however long they need to be there. So don't be afraid to look those up if you start seeing like bears everywhere and stuff. Hope that helps. That's just a few signs. There's more because everything is a sign. Everything is connected. And I know not everyone's at that place where they like see it and interpret it accurately yet, but you can get there where it's just like constant synchronicity, which is fun. So that's shifting. Is my pendulum giving me accurate answers? Thank you so much. What I get is it's starting to, because it's like practice, practice, practice. Sometimes these things get more accurate as you practice and show up and keep showing up, and you're just like, okay. And if you have a frustrating day, it's okay to put the pendulum down, come back tomorrow or a couple hours later, because body pendulum took a while to get honed in for me. There were a lot of times it worked, and but once my channeling really ramped up, that's when my body pendulum got really accurate. So I feel like you'll be accurate soon. I would stick with it and practice, practice, practice. Like, and it's okay to ask the same question twice. If it's accurate, it's going to give you the same answer twice. Honestly, that's how I get those things work. I know people will say different things, but that's how I've found it works. Hope that helps. Celeste shifting. You'll get there. Keep at it. Oh, and muscle testing might be a good thing for you to try too. Celeste, was that the username? Yeah. Dolphin Jess, what does it mean when my guides send me birds? I get joy. I also get different bird, different meaning. Like owls are very much about knowing and like wisdom. For you, owl, that's what I just said. But like, I feel like a lot of the times it's happiness and bringing you joy. Like sometimes like birds like pelicans can be interesting. Like sometimes like pelican can show up somewhere. It's like speak your truth, speak up. Because it's like I remember one time I was in the car with an ex and she was like, we saw a pelican. I'm like, oh, pelican's one of my totem animals according to some reading I had years ago that I'd said at the time. I actually here still is. But it was weird. It was like bird clan. It wasn't just like one bird specifically. But pelican showed up for that reading. So anyways, but my girlfriend at the time, she is now an ex. She was cool, but just wasn't meant to be. So I ended up splitting that off. But anyways, she said like, oh, I got swallowing truths for that. She was super intuitive too. And I was like, oh. So it's like if you see certain birds and you're like, that seems interesting. Like I would look it up if it's a very unique bird or like a pelican or like a toucan or a parrot. Like those can be birds where it's like easier to get a more diverse answer for what that particular bird is than like, oh, I saw a sparrow and then a pigeon. It's like, well, it's pretty common burbs. I like to say burbs with a B for fun because of Burbs Right Activist, the Twitter account. I think it's some of the funniest memes back in the day. I hope that makes sense and helps you, Dolphin Jess. I want to get more specific. A lot of it's joy and a lot of it's upliftment. If you think of like birds flying, upliftment. So I think it's like spirit sending joy your way, God sending joy your way. If that makes sense. There's more to it. I would definitely look into unique birds that show up on your news feed, on your For You page or whatever. Teal Robbins, will I get a job that I love soon? I unfortunately get no. I think it's going to be a second, and it might take some stepping stones. Thanks, Deja, for the hydrate reminder. You're welcome, Dolphin Jess. I hope that was helpful. It's going to take some stepping stones. You might have to create your career where it's like a side job or hobby you create and then like expand upon it until it's financially stable enough to go out on your own with it. That's what I get. I think it's going to take a few years, but you can get there. Teal Robbins, I hope that helps. It makes sense. Hope that helps. Water break. Snuck some coffee in there. Coffee. Papita 6. Most important thing I need to know today. First thing I heard was like, well, let's see. Like, you're not an option. You deserve good. You deserve better. If you feel like you haven't gotten better, you're actually really great, is what I want to say. Sometimes you just need those messages, but anything about your life that would be good for you to know. I feel like career-wise or job front-wise, you might have to switch things up if you're there. Excuse me. If you have a job, you're not going to be there forever, based on what I'm hearing. I would start looking if you're not happy. If you have a job. I hope that makes sense, Papitas. But you're great. Keep up the good work. I hope that made sense. Margaret Rose 4. I'm interested in Magicraft. Any guidance? So that's not 100% where I gravitate, so I don't want to steer you wrong. I feel like there are a lot of great beginner books, if you haven't already picked one up. I would pay attention to Moon Magic based on what I'm getting. I feel like that'll be potent for you, so anything that's working with the moon, and like the natural moon cycles and like nature and maybe a bit more like pagan leaning would be a right fit for you, I feel. And I know there's like different types of witches. I'm hearing something about gray, so maybe look into that. Just make sure it feels right for you and your gut and your heart. I would trust where you feel interested and guided to, because that tends to lead us on our own unique path that's just right for us. Even if it's different than like what I do or what Harold down the street does. Not that you know someone named Harold, excuse my neck crack, but I feel like this is not a call down to anyone who's more like into magic craft or like Wicca or witchcraft at all, but I feel like you're meant to do more than just that. I wouldn't be afraid to branch out and expand to other areas of interest beyond that once you've delved into it, is what I'm saying. I wouldn't stay stuck in any one realm for too very long unless you very, very much want to. And again, that's not a call down to any one realm, any one practice, any one modality at all. It's just, it's more about what's right for the person in front of me that I'm channeling for, if that makes sense. So don't be afraid to expand once you get what you need. Not that people who stay in that one area aren't expanded or expansive. I hope that makes sense. But trust your gut on like who to work with, who to trust. Because I feel like a lot of you guys who feel newer to this stuff are actually more on point than you realize when you get like an off feeling or you see someone and you're like, that's not quite right, or like, okay, this guy seems pretty authentic and trustworthy and like bright and shiny. I think I can at least listen to what he has to say, or she seems really, really cheerful and like she knows what she's talking about and she's not regurgitating something she heard from a book. I'm gonna just at least listen to what she's kind of channeling through. I would just trust yourself when you like see people and get that first intuitive like energetic like look at them. Like if something feels weird, because like typically that's the or off, because that's typically a good indicator. Oh, that makes sense. That's not all of you. That's those of you who realize you have that intuition null function online right now and can read energies like as an empath or however you operate. That's Jacqueline. Should I change majors from nursing to finance? I didn't know. I would actually stick with nursing. I would hold off till like late this month to like make a choice. Hopefully it's not like pressing. For what I'm getting, I would say nursing, or something similar. That's just what I'm hearing. So I hope that makes sense. Real talk with Angela. Angela has gotten in love with me. Yes. So my body Body pendulum went no, yes. So it's like, yeah, overall answer is yes. What's the caveat? What's the no about? I think he's still figuring out his feelings. Are still realizing how deep they are. So it's like, I guess like the way I would say it is a lot of the love isn't as consciously fully there as you'd hope, but it's like it's there and it's I feel like it's entrenched. It's just like, does he realize how much he loves you? No, but does he? Yeah, but he's still realizing it. I feel like he's kind of slow to realize those things in general, but that's what I get for you on that, Angela. Hope that makes sense and resonates. What else? Okay, that's it. If you're with someone, never mind. Aztec lady. You know, I've been seeing like Aztec and Inca like signs and stuff like all over the place. So it's really interesting that Aztec lady is here. That's a sign for me. What I'm saying is your username. Anyways, I like this guy very much. Is he being truthful? Not totally, based on what I get. He's cool, but he doesn't know what to say sometimes, so he just kind of like word vomits, I guess. He's not always honest. It's like playing the game, trying to be cool. I feel like he's trustworthy once you get to know him, but takes a second to get him there, is what I'm getting. I feel like he opens up more once he feels safe. Hope that makes sense, Aztec lady. And it's okay to move along if you don't feel like if that's just not your forte based on the situation and what I just said. But trust yourself. I think you already know to a degree like what your gut's telling you. I am going to ask you guys, try not to spam the Q&A. It does kind of clog things up, and I'm just trying to go with my guides on which questions to answer and who and when, and just based on what shows up in the Q&A and what I see in the chat. So it's Susie. Is there a job for me in LA instead of Sebastopol? Yes, but I feel like you're gonna have to search and search and search is what I'm getting. But it's there. It's just kind of like in the nooks and crannies of jobs. That makes sense. I feel like you'll get it if you go there. That's what I'm hearing. Teal Robbins. Oh, I think I answered you before. That's okay. I'll just enter this again. I already clicked on it. Should I change jobs into another fields? I am getting no right now. I would hold off. I would give it some time. Hope I didn't already answer that twice. I answered that before. Faye Langan. Will my dissociation and tinnitus go away? Tinnitus go away? I get yes, but not right away. I think the tinnitus will resolve sooner. It might take a second to heal both of those, but I don't feel like they're forever for you. Hope that makes sense. That doesn't mean don't consult a doctor or certified medical physician. One glam soul. What spirit animals do you pick up for me, please? Eagle's the first one that's jumping out. Is that cockatoo? I think it's cockatoo as well. It's like a spotted bird with like a big beak and he's small, kind of big head. Eagle, and I'd pay attention to the eagle mating ritual. I think I actually talked to someone in a personal reading recently about eagle and like they just about that, but that's popping up for you now that I talk about it too. So I'd pay attention to that and like look into that, maybe like bald eagle, but all types of eagle, like the golden eagle as well, eagle in general. Eagle rocking everywhere. So, and then cockatoo, which I think is just like it's something about going through the motions. So what's that about going through the motions? like, I think it's okay to be repetitive sometimes. Just don't get locked in it for too long, like years, if that makes sense. But it's okay to be where you're at, is what I'm hearing. A lot of birds, duck, which is like paddling furiously under the water, but looking graceful on the surface. But it's also like, if you think about it, duck has a mastery over air and land and water because it can walk and swim and fly. So, but what's it about? I think it's also about standing out because, like, is it mallard that has a green head? Whatever gender of duck has the green head? Like, it's like stands out. It's very, gosh, provocative is the word I hear, but it's more like, I mean, I guess in their species maybe that is what that is, but it stands out is what's popping out to me. So I would do your best to stand out, and that doesn't mean go be provocative necessarily. I don't know what you do. You do your thing. I don't judge. Standing out is the key phrase of all that, and however that resonates for you. Mallard. Thanks, Drake. Thanks, Drake. Mallard. So, oh my gosh, what other? I get bear and tiger as well. Bear is very protective, or like mama bear. But I also get foraging and hibernating, where it's like take time to rest and be yourself, because bears don't care. They're just them. They're bears. They just do bear things. Like bear don't give a darn. That's not the word I heard, but I don't think I can swear on TikTok Live. And the other one is tiger, which is fearlessness. So, which kind of ties in with bear there. Hope that helps, One Glam Soul. There's more. They come and go as well, but for some reason, duck's a big one. So pay attention to duck. Color and wine. Am I meant to be working on the healing of women? I get yes, but I do hear people of all walks of life. But if you feel drawn to that specifically, I'd listen to that and trust your gut. I do feel like that'll expand to men too, like it or not, is what I'm hearing, because they'll need the help and what you have to offer as well, as you go about your stuff. I hope that makes sense, Carly. But I hear all walks of life, and I would pay attention to elderly people as well. Okay. Trisha Kenny Kraus asks, is there happiness in my future? Yes, that's a big yes. Potentially not right away. I don't feel like you're asking this if you're in a happy time already. Tough times don't last forever, and I understand, like, when you're in that state, it's tough to see it. But I promise you, joy is ahead. It's just gonna take time to get there and to uncover like some of the soot and the ash from the past that's kind of covering and maybe blocking your vision of the joy that's ahead. I would pay attention to rainbows specifically if they're like repeatedly like in your world or vicinity, as a sign that like there's hope, there's happiness coming, just there's gifts from the universe. Just keep going, keep your head up. It is going to be okay. But I would say, yeah, keep going. It's there. That's what I get. All right, guys. Hello, Corey. Will I have children? Hello, Corey. Okay. I do get yes. Who's yelling, quit spamming? Yeah, guys, try not to spam the Q&A. Whoop. All right, someone took care of it. I appreciate it. I think that was Deja or whoever did that. Thanks, Deja. By the way, I want to say a big shout out to the moderators. I know Texas Jess was here. I know Deja was here. I really appreciate them for being here and helping out with that. Yeah, hello, Corey. I do it, yes. I would give it time, though. I think it's going to take just a little bit longer. I hope that helps. And just so you know, guys, there will be a replay for all this on YouTube, which is through the link in the YouTube button in my bio, TikTok bio. If you miss a question or if you want to go back and review anything. Unfortunately, I know this live, usually I go for a while. I am only at 3% battery. I don't have a way to charge my phone right now. So if I don't get to a question, I do offer personal readings through the link in my bio. That's something that's there for you if you really had something you really wanted to get into, or you just feel drawn and resonate to what I do, and you'd like to get a reading, just let me know. My scheduler is through the link in my bio, first link. But I'm gonna truck through as long as I can here. Marion Stranger, should I go to rehab? I hesitate to say not yet, but honestly, my body pendulum goes no, and I do get not yet. I would try to do everything you can in the meantime. I do feel like rehab can be disruptive, but trust yourself if you're like, no, I need help. Trust yourself. Don't let me keep you from that if you really feel like that's where you need to go. See, Mary Man. All good, Brandon. Thank you for doing this every week. You're a very generous person. I appreciate you. You're welcome. I love this work. So I'm grateful I get to do this every week for you guys. I'm grateful you're here, and I'm grateful to be here doing this work. See, Marianne Stringer. So that's what I get. So I hope that helps, but really, if you feel like you need that help, get the help. For sure. But trust yourself. But I would do everything in your power to get rid of it yourself. Colleen Loria. Is Brian watching over me? I feel like he knows you're okay for the most part. I get in and out where like he'll check in, you're good, okay. Other people to check on, and but I feel like when you need him, he's there, is what I get. But I just get the words not consistent. You do have other spirit guides, spirit animals, and I guess divine protectors with you. It's like guardian angels to help you. So I would worry not, but there's a lot of care there. I'm just like seeing Care Bears. So you can ask him to be around you more, looking out for you more if you want, but I don't feel like you need him. And I think that's why it's like in and out. And some people I get like they're like very consistent. Some people I get like nah, they'll check in, but they know you're doing all right. David Kidwell. 4. Will I have my own place to live by my birthday? I don't know when your birthday is, but I feel like it's a bit after, honestly. Timing can be flexible though. So I do hear a bit after though, based on my intuition. But you'll get there soon, sooner rather than later in general. All right, let's see. Ooh. April Compton asks, should we sell our house and buy a farm? Yes, but I'd give it a little bit of time and make sure it's like the right plot of land, it's the right fit for you guys. Just make sure it's right is pretty much what I'm getting. But I feel like it's going to take a second to find the right thing you're looking for. But overall, like my body pendulum went no, yes, so overall answer is yes. But keep looking is what I'm hearing. I don't think it's going to be right away, but like, maybe early next year if you're like ready for that. is it possible timing? Probably. Okay, let's see. Air and Space Museum, will I be able to buy a house? I get yes, but give it a bit of time. Maybe not this year, but yes. Okay, back to the Q&A. I just wanted to... Okay, let's scroll. Camaro to SS Girl. Why is my ex-husband reaching out all of a sudden? So Mercury in retrograde, that stuff kind of happens. Things from the people from the past reach out. You kind of get that itch to reach out to people from the past. It's just kind of a thing that goes around and happens. So you're right on the right time for this to happen, Camaro to SS Girl. But as far as the exact why, I hear nostalgia. Um, I hear something about wanting something different with you. I don't know what that means. Um, I feel like to a degree he feels bad. But what is that about? Where he treated you? But I feel like that's a complex issue. I don't. I'm not getting like a one-track answer. I think it's just like a smorgasbord of like emotions and reminiscing or something like that. So I think he'll make it pretty clear what he's after. Hope that makes sense. I think he's okay, but I would keep him at a distance, depending on your relationship with him. Camaro. I'm just gonna call you Camaro when I see you in the chat now. It's Stardust. Will I be divorced this year? I do feel like soon after, but I would trust the process. For sure. For sure. Let's see. Dodie Stevens, anxiety is holding me back. Way forward. Honestly, I would sit and breathe and like let it be there for a second. I feel like you're gonna know once it settles, but might be a little bit. The more breath work you do, you probably already know these techniques. Like breathe, breathe in 4 seconds, hold your breath for 5, breathe out 7 seconds. The better. I do feel like breath work is a key for you. Right? Yoga, grounding practices are gonna help, but I would even take one step, one small baby little step towards what you're going for. The smallest, babyest little step you can, it could just be opening a file on your computer. Hey, today's girl, and Shamorita Hero. Thank you guys. I'm sorry if I botched that, but thanks for the roses, guys. That can be enough to alleviate some anxiety. You just get like one step done and you're like, okay, I can keep going. Sometimes it's helpful to move towards it, and like, because when fear and anxiety ramp up, it's like if you move towards it and like take just like a step or take action, it kind of diminishes after a time. You're like, okay, that was okay. I'm okay. I do feel like any leaps of faith are actually a good idea within reason. I wouldn't quit your job and go homeless if that's something you've been considering. Don't do that, Dodie Stevens. But like I feel like you're on the right track, but take a breather. It's okay to rest and come back when you feel a little bit recovered. But I would honestly take one action step. You know what? Tim Ferriss, he's like a self-help guy. He wrote like the 4-Hour Work Week. I used to read his stuff. He has a really big podcast too, but he talks about like this might help you. Write down the 3 things each day, or depending on how many, if you don't have a lot of things to do, maybe it's every week, that like are giving you the most anxiety that you need to get done. And like the first thing you do that day is tackle like those 3 things, or like one of those 3 things that are giving you the most anxiety, because that's probably going to give you the most progress in your life for certain people who are like that. Not that there's anything wrong with any of you. 5 Wilma is my Nana watching over me. Yeah, all the time. I feel like she protects you and just makes sure you're making better life choices in general. Sorry, I just wanted to jump into that. Zeninya Tichi, I'm so sorry if I botched that. Will I marry my current boyfriend? I do get no. I feel like you're going to see why soon. But you know what? You don't have to ditch that relationship just because I said something. I'd let it play out and see how that goes. I'm not here to wreck everyone's relationships. Elizabeth 94, did I make the right decision leaving my boyfriend? I do get yes, sorry. Okay, back to Dodie Stevens. But I would write a list of one thing that's making you anxious and just do it and get it out of the way, see how you feel. And maybe leave the rest for tomorrow. Just try. I don't know if that totally fits your situation. I think it kind of does, but it's like not really hitting it precisely, but baby steps. I hope that helps at all. But it's okay to pull back and regroup and charge at it without thinking the next day or minute. Sorry if that wasn't the best advice. But you got this, Dodie Stevens. You're better than you think you are. Sibian Bang, how do I unlock my gifts? You're gonna have to meditate. It's different for everybody. Some people it's already there, and you're just gonna have to like kind of take the stepping, skip on the rocks across the river of honing in your gifts, to use an analogy. I'm at 1% battery, guys. So if my thing dies here, that's why. If the live ends, it's because my battery died. If I didn't get to your question, I do offer personal readings in the link in my bio. So that's something that's there for you if you so choose. But if I die here, I want to say I love you guys. I'm not going to die, but the phone battery might die. Everything's okay. Everything's good. But I love you guys. I appreciate you being here. You're not muted, Mama Kibbs. I can see your comments. But I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's been awesome. I love these lives. I go live every Sunday at 9 a.m. North American Central Standard Time. So, and I'm considering adding in another live halfway through the week with general readings as well, just so more people get. I do feel like a lot of valuable information comes through with these Q&As, but then it's like a general reading everyone can also get info from too. But you're so welcome, everybody. So, CB and Bang, I'm going to try to answer your question before my phone dies, and we'll see what goes on here. Meditation, I would take Reiki classes or an energy work modality course you feel gravitates towards you. And I don't get this for everyone, but I would look into Access Consciousness with Dr. Dane here. And the book Being You, Changing the World is a good one. But I feel like that would resonate with you, actually. And that modality is not for everyone based on when I talk to them. So